Hi, I'm Dr. Sudhakar here. I'm the coordinator for Research and Innovation Council at Garden City University. It gives me immense pleasure to provide you a orientation on RISE, which stands for Research, Innovation, Incubation, Consultancy, Entrepreneurship, and Extension. I'm sure all of you must be thinking about these terms are slightly advanced or slightly technical. In order to make you to understand the need of focusing on this research, innovation, incubation, consultancy, entrepreneurship, as well as extension when you're pursuing your academic program at Garden City University, I have given you the list of justifications. Many of you may be thinking of planning to go for an employment after completing your academic program at Garden City University. But it's very important to remember that employment, especially during this pandemic situation, is uncertain. The business are not doing well the way how they were doing before. There is a low demand for employees working in the organization, and there has been a lot of termination when it comes to the employment is concerned. So if you are someone who's thinking about just finding an employment after completing your academic program at Garden City University, suddenly in future, not just about COVID-19, any kind of natural calamity comes in, if it is going to impact your employment, you need to have a backup option in place. So it is very important for you to think that I'm pursuing an academic program at Garden City University. Apart from finding an employment in the industries, I also should have other options. That's the place like the role of RISE comes into picture. If you're someone who is having an excellent research skills or incubation skills, or even could be consultancy, or it could be entrepreneurship or extension, you will able to find n number of career opportunities like throughout your lifetime. I'm not just talking about after completing the course. Throughout the lifetime, you can be very confident if the employment goes because of various reasons, you will have other options in place which will help you to lead your life peacefully without any kind of challenges or stress. Number two is, as I told you before, apart from employment, if you are someone who is having the skills to start up your company, you can get into entrepreneurship. You can start up an enterprise with the investment lower than 10,000 rupees, or there are a lot of entrepreneurial startups which are available for you to start without any kind of investment. So you will have to acquire the knowledge, skill, and attitude to start up a company when you're pursuing your academic program at Garden City University. It is not going to be very easy for you. One fine day you have realized that you have lost your employment and you want to start something on your own. That time it's going to be very difficult for you to plan the entire way how the business is going to be done. So whereas if you are able to develop those skills and knowledge at Garden City University, at some point of that time, if you feel that like you want to take a break from your full-time job and get into startup, easily you will be able to do it. Number three is business is changing. I'm sure all of you would agree. After this COVID-19 pandemic, the way how the business is transacting in today's market is completely changed. Be it a roadside organization, or it could be a multinational company. They are changing the way how they are running their business. It is because the environment is changing, people are changing. There has been a lot of changes with regards to the rules and regulations on how the business needs to be conducted. So when the business is changing, if you're going to study something which is just there in the textbook, and if you're going to expect yourself like to handle the changing scenario effectively, it's going to be very, very difficult. So when you are having a good researching skills, or if you are having a good innovation skills, you will be able to understand the changes which are happening in the business landscape is concerned, and you will be in a position to develop the strategy in order to face any kind of challenges effectively. Whether you're joining an industry or whether you're going to start up your enterprise, you need to have an excellent research and innovation skills. So any kind of changes which may be coming, maybe from the government, or maybe from the environment, or it could be from the customer end, or it could be from the competitor end, you'll be able to study those changes properly. You'll be able to bring out some sort of strategic solutions which will able to handle any kind of situations more effectively. The fourth reason is product and services are changing. For example, like you may be from any of the department, be it from life sciences or tourism, or even if you take commerce and management, computational sciences and IT, or information technology. There has been a great change when it comes to the way how the product and the services are growing over the period of time. The product what we are using today, after 1 month, after 6 months, after 1 year, it is going to have lot of advancement in the way how the products and services are actually being delivered in the market. So when the products and services are changing, it is very important for us to have latest information, to have latest skills, so that any kind of changes which happens with regards to the product and services in your company, you're able to make those changes in the product to stay updated in the market, to ensure that you are successful. I'm sure all of you remember the case study of Nokia. Nokia, when they were refused to understand the changes which were happening in the market, finally, one fine day, like all other mobile phone manufacturer took over Nokia became outdated. So the founder of Nokia, he had mentioned in one of the board meetings, we did not do anything wrong, but somewhere down the line, we failed to keep updated with the trend. So it is very important for the students of Garden City University to have unique knowledge, unique skills, which will help them to accustom with any kind of product and service changes which are happening in the company, so that they are able to deliver the performance very effectively. Coming to point number 5, needs and expectations of the customers are changing, be it patients or be it customer, be it consumers, any customers it may be, like due to the revolution of digital media, due to the plenty of information which are available in the various social networking sites, today customers are well informed. So the needs and expectations are not just decreasing, it is just increasing to manifold. So in order to meet the needs and expectations of the customer, you need to understand what are the needs, what are the expectations, so that you'll able to align your business, you'll able to align your product and services. The other reason why you need to be focusing on RISE would be like a technology changing. I'm sure all of you would agree that the technology what we were using before 5 years or before years or before 1 month, it's actually changing now. There has been a lot of revolution when it comes to the way how the businesses are transacting. Day before yesterday, I saw a group of homemakers, they are doing business using Zoom as one of the platforms. Just imagine homemakers using Zoom as a platform. It's really amazing how people are actually like utilizing the technology. So it's very important when the technology is changing, we should be in a position how we can able to cope up with the changes in the technology, or how we can able to create a new technology itself, which will help us to enhance the efficiency in the operation. Finally, the environment is also changing. I'm sure all of you know that there has been a decreased rainfall or there has been increased rainfall. The temperature is not same in all the places. The productivity when it comes to the agriculture, it's reduced. There has been a lot of drastic shift in the way how the environment is today, and definitely it is expected to change in the future also. So having this kind of phenomenon, having this kind of changes, having this kind of uncertainty in place, if you are a student who is just pursuing 2 year of your academic program or 3 year or 4 year of academic program, just focusing on the syllabus, just appearing for the examination, doing some internship, getting into the job is not going to help you to have a sustainable career. All of us want sustainable career. We do not want to be sitting idle at home doing nothing at some point of the time in their life. So that's the time this focus on research, innovation, incubation, consultancy, entrepreneurship, and extension helps you as a rescue. So it is very important. You need to actively take part in various endeavors which is going to be conducted on this particular framework. Number 1 is research. Under research, we conduct RISK webinar, which stands for Research and Innovation Attitude, Skill, and Knowledge Development webinar. You will able to attend this webinar in order to develop your research skills, your innovation skills, or it could be your attitude, or even it could be knowledge. Not just webinar, you will have a lot of workshops, you will have a lot of conference. So it is you who have to take the first step, understanding why I'm supposed to develop the research skill, why I'm supposed to develop the innovation skill. And if you are able to participate in this kind of a development programs, you will able to develop your competency to research, your competency to innovate. Number 2 is we have a unique assessment called as a research orientation assessment. It is basically like a self-assessment. When we are circulating this form, if you're genuinely taking up this assessment, you will come to know whether your orientation is up or less. If it is less, you will have to focus more on developing various development programs. You will have to participate in various activities. If it is up, you will have to know how you can able to utilize your high research orientation to the next level. So this research orientation assessment is basically conducted using a Google form. The Google form will be circulated to you. You will able to take up the assessment. At the end of the assessment, you will be able to know your current score. Based on the score, whether it is low or medium or high, you will be able to develop the strategy in order to develop your research orientation assessment. And also we provide assistance for you to do project writing as well as funding which are available in private and public platforms. I'm sure all of you would be thinking that if I want to research, I need various materials, I need to have various equipments, I need to have other resources. So it is practically not possible for a student to actually fund from their end in order to conduct various projects or experiments. So there are a lot of funding options which are available from private as well as public funding partners. They will actually look at your project proposal. If the project proposal is reasonable, if it is feasible, and it is having an excellent outcome, they will be sponsoring you for your project ranging from 1 lakh rupees to 1 crore rupees, or even it could be more. So under Garden City University, we will provide you a workshop which will help you to develop your project writing skills, and also you will able to get an awareness on how to apply for the projects which are funded by various public and private institutions here in India as well as in foreign countries. In case if you're not getting funding outside Garden City University, our Chancellor Dr. Joseph PG has dedicated fund for funding the students' projects which has got impactful outcome. So we have a concept called as GCU Perfect. Under GCU Perfect, you will able to apply for funding for a minor or a major project. Using that funding amount, you can able to complete your project work at Garden City University itself. Perfect stands for Project for Establishing Research Fraternity and Enhancing Core Technology. So you'll be notified when the GCU Perfect is actually open for accepting the projects. Once it is communicated to you via your program coordinator, or it could be from your head of the department, you can actually go through the details on how to apply for the projects, so that you will be able to apply these projects very easily and get the funding for it. And we have a very interesting concept called as interdisciplinary research. The best thing about pursuing academic program at Garden City University is we have 10 departments ranging from languages to physiotherapy, to sciences, to tourism, media, and computational sciences, and even if we have psychology. If you want to do any kind of research which is interdisciplinary in nature, you have the naturally available ecosystem. For example, a student from sciences can collaborate with a student from hotel management to do a research on a food or a beverage. So you have this ecosystem available. It's you who have to come out of this comfort zone and to utilize this kind of opportunities which is available, so that you will able to balance all your strengths and weakness and come out with some sort of interesting and useful research and innovation which is going to be beneficial for various stakeholders who are there in the society. So these are some of the activities we conduct under research. And the main focus area when it comes to the research is impactful research. It's not just about collecting some data, writing some paper, and then publishing it. We want to do a real research which will be solving the problem which could be faced by the individuals, or it could be faced by the group, or it could be a community, or it could be a particular state, or it could be a nation, or it could be a world. So whatever the research which you are involving in, it has to have some significant income. For example, if you are going to do a research on waste segregation, probably the outcome could be reducing the burden of the people to segregate the waste, helping the people to segregate the waste in a very systematic way based on its composition nature, trying to come out with a unique model of waste decomposition, trying to come out with a model of recycling the waste. So if you are able to take one problem, and if you are able to derive a solution for the problem, that itself provides a career opportunity for you. For example, when it comes to the waste segregation is concerned, India waste segregation is having a perennial issue. And if you're someone who can able to bring in at least one solution, that itself is considered as a impactful research. So using knowledge, how you can able to find solutions for the problem which are there around us, which are there in our country, will provide you an excellent opportunity for you to contribute research, not just for publication, but for contributing to the real need of the stakeholders. Coming to the innovation activities, first is research. In RISE, first R stands for research. Then coming to the innovation activities, of course, innovation is very, very important. If you're not innovating it means that you are not growing it, you're not developing it. Today, you are able to attend this orientation session via online. It is because there has been a development when it comes to the technologies concern. For example, someone has developed from the first computer to this laptop. There is a app which you can able to access for attending the online meeting. You can able to see me. I can able to record the session. Anything is happening, it is because people have innovated. So instead of just utilizing the innovation which was done by people, why can't you take some sort of efforts to become as an innovator? That is a big question which you need to ask. So in order to help you to do the innovation, we conduct a lot of activities. Number one is innovation orientation assessment. Like I've told you about research orientation assessment, even we have a structured Google form. When you are taking up the assessment in a very genuine way, you will come to know whether your innovation orientation, whether you're willing or you're not willing, whether you're moderately willing to innovate, can be easily known. If you're someone who's having a low innovation orientation or moderate innovation orientation, you'll have to take a lot of efforts in order to develop your innovation orientation so that you will be able to create new innovation and you'll be able to create new product and services to solve various problems or to solve the unfulfilled needs of the customers in a particular business. And also we have an activity called as innovation simulation. Here we provide you a platform to try anything. It does not matter even if it fails. Most of the innovation what we are comfortably using today was started as a failure. All right. So we provide opportunity for the students to simulate their innovative idea through which they'll come to know the pros and cons, whether it is working out or not working out, what kind of refinement can be done. So you can participate in this kind of innovation simulation exercise, which will help you actually to test your innovative idea, whether you can come out with a unique product or services. And as I told you, we have interdisciplinary research. Same way, you have got interdisciplinary innovation also. If you have some sort of idea which needs to be collaborated with other departments, you can very well do that. And also, you can participate in various research and innovation, attitude, skills, and knowledge development events. And we have a signature event which is conducted once in an academic year, which is called as Innovation for Sustainable Development Goals, which I'll be explaining you in the next slide. So when we do an innovation, we cannot be just doing innovation for landing up nowhere. We need to have a certain outcome. The certain outcome can be ensured when we are able to have a standard framework in place. So Garden City University have adopted the 17 sustainable goals, which was actually proposed by United Nations in the General Assembly in the year 2015. And these goals are expected to be achieved by the year 2030. Now, currently we are in 2021. We have another 9 more years in our hands. If you are able to achieve all these goals, for example, no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, to partnership for the goals, the 17th goal, if you are able to achieve all these goals, it means that each and every individual, not just human beings, even plants as well as animals, can able to have a better living atmosphere so that we can able to create a sustainable future for all. So tomorrow, if you're going to think that, yes, I'm going to innovate, I really do not know in which sector and in which area I'm supposed to innovate. So if you want to address that particular question which is coming in your mind, you can actually refer to this 17 sustainable goals. You can select one goal, or it could be a combination of 2 goals. Select the goals. Under that goal, identify what is the problem which is there in the society now. What is the problem which is faced by the people? So to address that problem, what kind of innovation can be brought? That's where your innovation comes into picture. So Garden City University, we focus on creating an awareness for the students and the faculty members, as well as PhD research scholars, to focus their innovation for sustainable development goals, which is proposed by United Nations. Coming to the incubation, if you look at in this particular picture, as I told in the beginning of the slide, many of the students who are pursuing the academic program, they want to play safe. They really do not want to take a risk. So most of the students will be thinking that I'm going to become as an employee in my dream company. As I told you the scenario in the beginning of this presentation, the employment is not guaranteed until otherwise it's a government job. Even in a government job in the future, there is going to be a lot of changes when it comes to the permanency of your employment is concerned. So instead of just focusing on employment, I would definitely suggest you should have a backup option, which should be entrepreneurship. There are few students who would say, I'm studying this course. I really do not want to work under someone. I want to become as an entrepreneur. It is fantastic. If you're someone who is thinking that I'm going to become as an employee only, and I'm not going to be bothering about entrepreneurship at all, it's here sad news that you will have to wake up now. You'll have to develop skills, because until otherwise you have the skills, knowledge, and attitude to run a business, it is going to be very difficult for you to work for an organization which is actually providing product and services to the customer. So under the incubation center, we provide all the support for you to take up your startup idea. For example, business idea. You want to start up a food business, you want to start up a beverage business, or you want to start up a technology business. You may not be having all the insights on how to go about it. So the Garden City University Incubation Center comes into picture. Only thing is, if you have the right attitude, if you have right inspiration, we will able to handle you right from the time capturing that idea, evaluating the idea for the feasibility, and then we will able to shape up that idea until you successfully roll out into the market. So what kind of assistance are required in terms of technical consultancy, or in terms of the infrastructure, or it could be in terms of the equipments, or it could be in terms of the funding, everything will be supported to you under GCU Incubation Center. Incubation is a phase where you, as an inexperienced person who do not have any kind of resources or any kind of knowledge or skills, will provide everything so that you are able to prepare yourself, you are able to develop yourself in such a way that in future you will be able to stand independently without the support of Garden City University. Until that period, we will provide all the support which is required. So Garden City Incubation Center, again, we are focusing for meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. This is one of the India's first incubation center for sustainable development goals. It is because most of the people are starting up the business just for the sake of starting up. So it's going to be very difficult for us to meet the need of our country. But if we are able to focus on this clearly defined 17 sustainable development goals, definitely it is going to provide a sustainable living for each and every human being which is there on this planet. So GCU Incubation Center is a dream endeavor of Garden City University to contribute towards the vision of a developed India in one generation. Previously, we used to say that India is going to be a developed nation in the year 2020. 2020 is already over. So do you want this dream to be a dream even for the future generation, or do you want this dream to be achieved in this generation itself, so that our future generation can actually reap the benefit of having the atmosphere of a developed nation? So we are focusing on sustainable development goals as part of the GCU Incubation Center, and we give focus for micro, small, medium enterprises, because those are the businesses which is very much required, which is completely unorganized. If you are able to focus on this kind of business, we are sure that we will able to create more employment, we'll able to create more quality product and services which is required for this society. So the procedure to enroll in the GCU Incubation Center is based on 6 steps. First and foremost thing is, you need to have a startup idea. Even it could be a crazy idea, it does not matter. Even if the idea which is not going to be feasible at all, it is fine. But if you're having an idea, just mail to GCU Incubation Excellence at gardencity.university. And once we receive the application, we'll fix an interview with the expert panel. The expert panel will actually screen your idea. If your idea is feasible, they will recommend you for the further step. If the idea is not feasible, they'll provide you various strategies on how you can able to refine the idea in such a way that you can able to take up from not feasible stage to a feasible stage. So the expert would recommend you to move to the next page if your idea is feasible, and they will able to develop a customized incubation support with a specific timeline. So once your idea is feasible, they will know exactly what needs to be done in terms of developing that idea, in terms of developing the product, in terms of developing the service, in terms of identifying the funding, in terms of doing a testing, in terms of conducting the survey. Everything they will able to list down in the step number 3 with a timeline, so that you will know exactly what's going to happen right from the time your idea has been accepted at the GCU Incubation Center till your product and services are rolled out in the market. Step number 4 is you will enter into an incubation agreement. Why this is required? You may be thinking that my idea is very novel, very innovative. I really do not want someone else to copy my idea. So what we do is we sign an MOU, we sign an agreement with you through which we will ensure that we are extending all the support which is required, and also we will maintain all the confidentiality when it comes to your startup is concerned, and you also will know what are going to be your roles and responsibilities is concerned. And then step number 5 will be, once the agreement is done, both the parties knows what they are supposed to do. They will actually get into collaboration with the technical consultants as well as funding partners who will actually provide you all the necessary mentoring, support, guidance to take about your startup idea till it rolls out in the market. Finally, you'll have step number 6, which is testing and launching your business in the market, which again will be supported by Garden State University. So this is one of the best university for you when it comes to getting something beyond your degree. I say almost all the institutions wants to give you a degree, which is possible for Garden State University, but our chancellor is always feels that we have to give more than what the parents are paying for their board at Garden City University. Hence, we have created this facility, and these services are provided for free for our students. It is up to you how you are actually going to utilize this opportunity so that you can get the best out of your academic program at Garden City University. We have discussed about research, innovation, incubation. Now we will discuss about consultancy. For example, if you are someone who is having a particular knowledge or a particular skill or a particular expertise, then you can become as a consultant for someone who is in needing of a particular knowledge, skill, or expertise. For example, if you are someone who is good in website development, and if you are someone who is good in training, you can actually use this skill as a consultant project. You can provide these services to an individual, or you can provide the services to a group, or there are a lot of companies which are in need of creating a website. So you will able to provide these services for your revenue. So they will able to pay for the consultancy services you have actually rendered. So going further, it's not just about finding an employment, or it's not about just finding an entrepreneurship. You can become as a freelance consultant, provided if you are good in or I would say if you are excellent in a particular knowledge or a skill or expertise. Having one knowledge, one skill, or one expertise itself provides you a platform to utilize that knowledge and skills to earn your livelihood, to generate your revenue, because our country, government alone cannot do anything, and the existing companies alone cannot do anything. So consultants plays a very important role. They provide services based on the requirements, and for that the consultants charge to either to an individual or a group or company. So at Garden City University, we encourage our students, our faculty members, and the research scholars to take up consultancy projects. For example, there is a startup company who is in need of developing a website, and if our student is very clear about how the website development is done, we will encourage the student to represent from Garden City University and provide the website development services. And after providing the website development services, they'll be earning. The earning 70% would actually go to the student, and 30% will come to the Garden State University for various resources which would have been provided to you. So if you want to support your academic program, you actually need not depend only on your parents' income as your source of payment. You can create income, you can create revenue to support your education if you're really smart. And we will able to train you on how to go about when it comes to the consultancy also. Coming to entrepreneurship, as I told you before, you cannot become as an entrepreneur overnight. It requires years and years of preparation, starting up, having a positive attitude, risk-taking attitude, having an innovative mindset, having the mindset to actually understand the business when it comes to the market is concerned. So in order to develop yourself, you require set of activities. That's what we do it under entrepreneurship. Under entrepreneurship, we provide various seminars, workshops. We take you to the industrial visits so that you can observe how the companies are running, which helps you to slowly develop the necessary skills, knowledge, and attitude to become as an entrepreneur. So under entrepreneurship, we conduct a lot of activities which will be helpful for our students to take up their startup venture more successfully. Finally, it comes to the extension. I'm sure you must have heard about CSR, which stands for corporate social responsibility. It is usually practiced by the company. But when it comes to the university's concern, we call that as institutional social responsibility. Institutional social responsibility is apart from providing education to the students, what else the university and the stakeholders of the university who are doing for the needy segments of the society. In this picture, if you look at on the left hand side, there are rural children who are climbing on the tree in order to attend their online classes. On the right hand side, there are college students who are actually cleaning up a particular park. So why this is required? Anyone who is deprived of an opportunity, anyone who is in need of an unfilled expectations, anyone who is not having what you and me are having, and it is our responsibility, apart from we being happy in our life, apart from we being satisfied in life, we also should help the other people who are having equal right to lead the life you and me are leading in. It is done through the extension activity. So at Garden City University, we select problems which are there in the industry. We identify individuals who are in need of the assistance. We go share our knowledge, we share our skills and expertise, not for any money. It is for providing a service. So when you are doing this, your empathy, your ability to connect with the people can be easily enhanced. So you will have a lot of opportunity to participate in extension activities as part of Garden City University. Whenever you get an opportunity, if you want to be a good human being, if you want to be a great manager, it is important for you to understand the people. That can be possible by participating in extension activities. Finally, I want to leave you with a slide. With this slide, do you feel blessed after looking at this picture? Just imagine your school. I'm saying your school is running under a bridge in northern India, and the teacher is taking class on the wall, and the students are happily learning. Just imagine you and me, how blessed we are. We have laptops, we have mobile phones, we have internet connection, we have our family, we have income, we have good food, we have good apparels. When God has blessed us with this education, is it not our responsibility to help the people who are deprived, like the students who are attending the classes under the bridge? Is it possible for us to make a difference? Education is not supposed to be meant for completing a degree, getting your job, getting a salary, taking care of your family, and then fulfilling the family commitments and dying. Education must be something which helps you to step out of your family and make a difference for the people who are in the need in the society or the country. That's where the real enlightenment, that's where the real purpose of education comes into picture. I'm sure from this presentation, you would have understood the importance of research, innovation, incubation, consultancy, entrepreneurship, and extension. If you're someone who have clearly understood this, I'm sure you will have an excellent participation in the future. We are there to support in all the possible ways so that you can able to have a sustainable, successful, as well as meaningful and happy life throughout. I'm Dr. Sudhakar signing off. Happy learning. Have a great day and stay safe.